What's up, guys? This is a little how-to on restoring your 94-95 Mustang front control arms. Now, this can apply to any car generally, but since I already have the control arms off and I'm not doing a tubular control arm setup, I decided, why not? I'm going to go ahead and see if I can restore these control arms and make them look brand new again. So right now, I have the control arms off, and basically I took them off and then I degreased all the parts. Top, bottom, got all the grease, all the road grime off, and I used this Black Magic bleach white tire cleaner. Basically any degreaser, automotive degreaser is gonna work. I did use a degreaser on all these parts mainly because I'm going to be coating these after I get them all cleaned up. So after you degrease, you're going to want to use a chisel. Let's see if we can get it in here. So this is actually a curved nose chisel. And since the cups on the front control arms have a little curve to them, this is a really great tool to knock off all the high spots on the control arms here. I don't know if you see all the little indentations there. The indentations are actually from the spring isolator on the cars. Over time, the isolator can create a little bit of wear spots. So right now what I'm doing is I'm taking the curved chisel and I'm knocking off all the high spots. So I'll show you that here. Now if you noticed, I have already started knocking some of the high spots down. I will say you might need a couple chisels for this. I bought this chisel kit at Harbor Freight. I forget how much it was, maybe 10 bucks, something like that. But basically I'm going around and knocking off all the high spots here and trying to get the cup on the front control arms as flat as possible, how they originally were. So this one here definitely has some raised spots, and I'm just going to knock them down as it is. And then basically I'll go around and knock off all the high spots here. I'm not going to knock them all off on this video. This is just a little simple how-to. It's probably going to be a little time consuming, but I think in the end, the end product is going to be great. After I knock off all these high spots, I will end up taking a die grinder and either stainless steel wire wheel or Scotch-Brite attachment and getting the rust off so that it gets down to bare metal. I'm going to get as close as possible. Obviously these are control arms from 1994, so I'm going to get as much as the rust off as possible and down to the bare metal. After that's done, I'm going to use a POR 15 rust preventative along with a POR 15 top coat, and that's going to be coated over the entire control arm, top and bottom. Now, these control arms are actually in really good shape. There's actually not that much rust. Here's the bottom of one of the control arms. I would lift up this one, but it has all the little rust chips in there. But the POR 15, it is an exceptional coating for any type of rust preventative, frame rust preventative, or even a frame coating. You can definitely use this on more than just a frame. I used it on a cargo carrier for my Toyota, and it's a cargo carrier for the roof. And the cargo carrier tubing is generally just mild steel, so they are prone to rusting. So I took the POR 15 along with the top coat, and I believe I did about 2 coats of each on the cargo carrier, and I will probably do the same with the lower control arm here. Now I know a lot of people are gonna gripe about trying to restore lower control arms, but I will let you know that these control arms, I mean, they are heavy duty. I don't know if you see how thick those sidewalls are, or if you guys know anything about the lower control arms for the 94, 95 Mustangs. They are pretty heavy duty, and I would say they're not indestructible, but they have to be absolutely rusted out for you to not be able to use them. So I will say, if you're trying to restore these control arms, it's at your discretion. On the far end, if you really want to, you could, if you knew somebody that could do an NDI test, non-destructive testing, put it through an x-ray machine or whatever, that's just really on the far end of seeing if there's any cracks in here. But visually, there are no cracks. It's really just surface rust on mine, but I know the 94, 95s, especially the box bodies, they're very prone to rust. And then I would say that these control arms are in pretty decent shape, actually exceptional shape for being from 94, 95. Now the reason why I'm restoring these is I decided not to go with a tubular setup for my car, and just reuse my stock control arms at this time. And also, I will be doing brand new ball joints. I believe these are replaced at some point. When I bought the car, I believe somebody replaced them. I don't know how long ago, but I am going to go with brand new Steeda ball joints, along with brand new Prothane bushings here, because I believe these are still OEM bushings from 1994. But after I get everything prepped and ready and doing the coating, I will probably have a part 2 video on the sanding of the cup with the die grinder, just to show you guys how that's done. For some of you that aren't tech, or not tech savvy, but body work or mechanical savvy, or want to learn actually how to sand these out, it's really not hard. Just a die grinder and either a wire wheel or a wire or a Scotch-Brite pad should clean these up. And then after that's done, I'm going to coat it. Well, I'm actually going to coat the control arms after I get all the new parts on the control arms. But hope this helps. This is just a little how-to on restoring your control arms if you choose to do that. I would only restore these if you know that your control arms are in really good condition and the inside of the cups here are not cracked or have holes or anything to that nature. So that's a little disclaimer here. Do, you know, coat these or restore these at your own risk. I do know they make OEM control arms, but thing is, if I go buy new control arms, stock OEM, I still have to remove the new ball joint and the rubber bushings, because I'll kind of want to make my front drivetrain suspension a little more stiffer and not as bouncy as stock. So that's why I'm really trying to restore these guys, because even though I can go buy 2 control arm sets for 180 bucks, I still have to remove the ball joint and the rubber bushings for the Prothane, which is the They're not rubber, they're like a hard Delrin, I believe, type. And then there's the Steeda bushings, or sorry, Steeda ball joint, which is way beefier than the stock ball joints here. And these ball joints are gonna coincide with my Steeda bump steer kit that I have on the car also. But, well, I hope this video helps. I will probably have another video come out on a little more detail on getting the rust out and doing the coating, which the coating shouldn't be hard. I'm just going to use some type of painter's brush to coat the control arms. But, all right, guys, stay tuned to part 2 of these control arms for restoration.